no mercy on anything, right? You're out of regulations, I'm going to drop the hammer on you. Well, the fact of the matter is that doesn't work as a leader. In the military, people wear patches on their uniforms. Well, SEAL teams has a reputation for being very unprofessional, don't really know how to wear uniforms well. We don't wear uniforms a lot. We have mix and match gear. We buy civilian gear. We wear that. We just have a bad reputation. And one of the things that once the war started and we started getting these high-speed camouflage uniforms with Velcro everywhere, well, guys started making their own patches. And the patches were, some of them were just cool, whatever, some skull or a knife or
guys
whatever.
Guys making their own patches?
Guys make their own patches. Here's a typical one. You have time. You have the knowledge and the willpower and the discipline to get it done.
Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility and your responsibility alone.
One day, you're going to realize your life is yours, and there's a lot of people important to you that surround it, but ultimately it's yours.
Then you must decide where you want to invest this life. Invest in something worthwhile.
You have to picture yourself there. Wherever it is, you've got to picture yourself there. All right, the next step is you've got to believe it.
Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. See, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream as we run toward it, as we work on it day in and day out.
They were going to make a change, and then they made it.
And this is your moment. It's not tomorrow. It's not next year. It's not when you're going to graduate. It's right here, right now. And every choice you make, you're impacting that thing.
We're going to be lions. When a lion is injured, when a lion is bleeding, he licks his wounds and he keeps walking.
Your time is one of the most powerful tools you will ever have.
Lay hold of it. You lay hold of it. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will be like a shark. You will think like a shark. And you can't go backwards. And if you stop swimming, you will die.
Let's go. Let's go. Good morning, rise and shine, rise and grind. Super excited, another day to go ahead and be great. I see everybody tapped in. Theo in the building, Chris, Brooke, Horizon J. Let's go. Today is a day that you guys have never seen before and a day that you'll never see again. So today is Friday. I've got a phenomenal topic for you guys, and my topic is going to be the 7 stages of alchemy, right? If you feel like you guys have been fighting a couple of things from the left, from the right, you've been blindsided, here is the deal with life, right? Everything is happening to you, and it's at the end of the day, it's happening for you and not to you, okay? So today, get a piece of paper, get out your pen, and these are essential stages. If you can understand how this works, it's going to change the way that you actually see the problems that come into your life, because you're going to start to understand that there's levels that need to be learned, right? So here we go. 7 stages of alchemy, right? Stage number 1 is going to be known as purification, okay? Coming into this industry of entrepreneurship, starting out, I realized most of the things that we think at the beginning, you need to take it out and throw it away, because what we've been taught has not been conducive to living a life of time freedom. So when it comes to stage 1, you need to start letting go of a couple of different things, right? A lot of us have different habits that are built up over the years. So 3 things to start thinking about letting go, right? Number 1 is an ego, right? A lot of us can go ahead and attest, whether we have it ourselves that or whether you see it in others. Here's what you can write down for an ego: edging God out, right? It took me a long time to realize it, But at some point or another, you're going to start to realize your ego is going to kill you. The second that you think you know everything, the second that you get too big for the little things, you end up getting too small for the big things, right? So you need to understand that ego is very important to throw out the window. Number 2 is self-doubt, okay? You'll only get as far as your belief will take you. So what are all the things that happened to you in the past that's limiting your belief from where you're getting to where you want to go? Because the truth is, I don't care how many times you've been told no. In fact, there was a stat I was reading the other day. We've been told hundreds of thousands of times no before the time we're 18 years old. So when you guys get out into our adult life and you start getting rejection, you start running into failures, a lot of us, the easiest thing to do is run. But you need to actually come to realization that you don't learn from winning. In fact, you learn more from losing. Okay, so your self-doubt, throw that out the window. The third thing you need to let go of at the end of the day is you need to let go of your bad relationships, right? Who is around you right now that's actually draining your energy instead of helping you get it back? Okay, so that's step number 1. Number 2, this is known as dissolution. Okay, in this phase, this is where you want to avoid your traumatizing memories and other inner resistant elements that are really holding you back. So for some of you guys, you have relationships that you've been holding grudges for years, right? We were talking about that the other day. And this is going to hold you back. So I'm telling you, every day, whether you know it or not, you're thinking about it. It's in the back of your mind. So take out anything that really, I would say at this point, makes you paralyzed, okay? It gives you some point of dis-ease. Do you guys know why disease is? It's called disease because it means your body is at a dis-ease. So if you have something that's bothering you mentally for a period of time, you have dis-ease for too long, guess what happens? You're going to create a disease inside of your body. So we need to rid the toxicity. We need to purify your soul over these next 90 days. And this is the stages how you guys can go out and get it done. Number 3, separation, okay? What is authentic and true to you? How do you really want to be? Start putting it on paper and start putting it around your environment, okay? I started to realize there's 2 types of people. If I walk into your house right now, am I going to be able to see where you're at? Or am I going to be able to see where you're going? If I see where you're at, here's what I'm going to see. I'm going to see TV, video games, junk all over the place, right? But if I walk into your house and I see where you're going, I'm going to start to see a vision board. I'm going to see a whiteboard. I'm going to see your goals. I'm going to see affirmations all over the place, right? This is where you start to get to another level, right? I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to be about it so you guys can see it, right? We've got the affirmations here every day to see it. You are the highest form of creation. So I've got these written all over my house, even when it comes to the mirrors. When I wake up in the morning, that's some of the first things that I'm looking at, okay? Let's get into number 4, conjunction, okay? You've got to be able to accept and integrate the parts of your authentic self. So here's the deal. A lot of us, we get so stuck thinking somebody else's thoughts. You haven't even had the time to get quiet to start thinking your own thoughts, right? What do you really want? What is actually success to you? What is your real why? These are all questions that you need to sit down and think about, because at the end of the day, if you're constantly thinking about other people's dreams, other people's visions, other people's opinions, you're never going to be able to step into your true self and who you actually deserve to become, okay? Number 5, fermentation. We deepen our connection to the inner voice while detaching from certain past identification. So here's the deal, right? If I were to ask you, how do you identify yourself right now? Drop it in the chat. Let me see it. How do you identify yourself? Do you identify yourself as being confident? Do you have self-awareness? Do you have a strong belief in yourself? If the answers are no on some of these questions, this is where we need to go back and start, okay? Fermentation. So getting into number 6 with these last 2. Number 6 is distillation. You've got to be able to integrate inner realizations into your life in order to allow them to become permanent, right? Finding love and flow in all things. So at the beginning of the journey, when you guys are standing there at the front and you're looking at this big mountain, it seems like a lot, right? It seems like you're never going to be able to climb it. But you know how every 1,000-mile journey starts? It starts with one step. So I had to start to learn to love the little things, right? Be grateful for the little wins throughout the day. You starting to get up early. You starting to develop a routine. You actually getting up in the morning and writing in your gratitude, getting in your journal. These are all steps of where the journey starts when you actually start jumping into entrepreneurship, okay? If you're not used to it and it feels weird, it feels different, that's a good thing. Every day should be different. It should feel exciting. If you're doing the same mundane, normal routine, you're not growing, you're dying. There's a reason why you feel that source of lack, okay? And last but not least, this is known as coagulation. And it simply means this, right? You're one with the divine. Inner world and your outer world are not different, but reflections of one another, okay? So to simply put it like this, your outer world cannot negatively affect your inner world because now you have inner peace. Here's a perfect example. We're living in a world where everybody is so toxic with negativity, with COVID, with all these illnesses going on. So it's so easy to find negativity. But how many of you guys can find inner peace in a world with so much noise, with so many storms going on? I can tell you right now, as I'm on this call, I have inner peace inside of my mind and inside of my heart because I've learned to find gratitude. I've learned to find love in the things of life that most people can't see. Here's an example. I'm grateful to be breathing. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for the opportunity that we're all living in right now. Believe it or not, they say 60% of Fortune 500 companies were created inside of a recession, inside of where most people are afraid. So do you guys see the correlation? We're living in that time right now. You guys can not only take advantage of crypto, we have NFTs, we have the metaverse, we have so much opportunity sitting at our fingertips if you're willing to be open-minded enough to see it, take advantage of it, and understand that in the next 3 to 5 years, you can live a completely different life and a life of abundance, a life by design, being able to travel, being able to retire your family. And I've seen it done. So to me, it's not whether this blueprint works, it's are you willing to work? So these are all different stages that I believe everybody has to go through, no matter what country you're from, no matter what your background is. Nobody can escape the laws of success. But if you can start to understand them, it's going to make life a lot easier. So that's my training for you guys today. I hope you guys got a ton of value. Any questions, feel free to go ahead and drop them down below. But with that being said, I love you guys. I will see you at the top because the whole squad is coming together. Let's get to work.